it always starts the same. That saxophone, faint, uncertain, like a voice hesitating before speaking. Then layered voices, like ghosts from another room. And finally, his voice, warm, wounded, asking softly, "Mother, Mother, there's too many of you crying." I don't remember the first time I heard it. I only remember that once I did, I couldn't unhear it. Because Marvin Gaye wasn't just singing, he was wondering, grieving, asking the question no one had the courage to say out loud. What's going on? He hadn't always been that kind of artist. He was Motown's golden voice, a crooner, a lover, a man who made heartbreak sound like silk. But the world changed, and so did Marvin. He watched the news, talked to his brother, just back from Vietnam, saw kids beaten in the streets. He couldn't sing about love anymore, not when everything around him felt like it was falling apart. So he did something unthinkable for a Motown star. He wrote about the real world and asked it, why? The song didn't start with him. It came from Obie Benson of the Four Tops, who saw police attacking protesters in Berkeley and scribbled down lyrics no one wanted to touch. Too raw, too political. But Marvin read them, and something clicked. He rewrote the words, rearranged the melody, and poured his own ache into every note. He didn't shout, didn't preach, he just asked. Berry Gordy hated it, said it would ruin his career, said radio would never play it, said it was too dark. But Marvin didn't blink. He said, "If you don't release this, I won't record another thing." Motown gave in, and that's when it started. It was unlike anything else on the radio, not just the lyrics, but the feel. It floated. The drums weren't urgent. The bass didn't thump. It moved like smoke, slow and smooth, wrapping heavy truths in beauty. You almost didn't notice how hard it hit, until you listened again, and realized this wasn't just soul music. It was soul exposed. He didn't say, "Fight the system." He said, "Talk to me." He didn't say, "Burn it down." He said, "Can we find a way to bring some understanding here today?" In the middle of chaos, Marvin whispered peace. And somehow, that was louder than any anthem. He took that one song and built a whole album around it. What's Going On wasn't just a title track. It was a thesis. Each song followed a soldier home from war, only to find a country at war with itself. He sang about poverty, about drugs, about the planet. It was spiritual, political, personal. And for Marvin, it was risky. But he didn't care, because this wasn't about success. It was about survival. When the album came out, it was a revelation. A Motown record with no hits. Only truth. It topped charts. Critics called it genius. Fans called it healing. But Marvin never stopped asking, even as he smiled in interviews, even as the world clapped, because the questions were still there, unanswered. Years later, when I hear the song, I don't hear a pop classic. I hear a man at the edge of his hope, trying to hold a nation together with melody. I hear someone who saw too much and loved too deeply to stay quiet. He didn't yell because he didn't want to echo the violence. He sang softly, as if to say, "Don't be afraid to feel. Don't be afraid to cry." And maybe that's why the song still matters, because it asks us not just to protest, but to care. Marvin Gaye died young, shot by his father, the same man who preached in church. Took away the voice that sang for peace. He was 44 and gone. But this song, this gentle, aching song, remains. I've heard it in marches, in films, in moments of silence, in moments of rage, and it never loses its meaning. Because the question still stands. What's going on? Not in the headlines, not in the politics, but in us. We still don't know. We're still asking. But thanks to Marvin, we know how to ask. Softly, truthfully, together.